Hello, my name is John, and today we will be reading Eruption in Iran by Clifford D. May, Washington Times, January 4th, 2018. Clifford D. May is president of the Foundation for Defense of Democracies and a columnist for the Washington Times. The revolution that transformed Iran in 1979 was a grand experiment. From that moment on, Iran would be ruled by an ayatollah, a man with deep knowledge of Shariah, Islamic law. He would be the supreme leader, a euphemism for dictator. He would merit that authority because he would be regarded literally as God's representative on earth. The first supreme leader was Ruhollah Khomeini, a charismatic fire and brimstone cleric, an unwavering proponent of jihad against America and the West. When he died in 1989, the title went to Ali Khomeini, who in no way moderated the regime's ideology. On the contrary, he has called the Islamic Revolution the turning point in modern world history. Today, the regime in Tehran influences Iraq, props up the Saud dynasty in Syria, controls Lebanon through Hezbollah, and backs the Houthi rebels in Yemen. Thinking longer term, Supreme Leader Khomeini has a nuclear weapons program, perhaps delayed but certainly not ended by the deal President Obama concluded, as well as a program to develop missiles capable of delivering nuclear weapons. That program continues apace. The pursuit of such ambitions has come at a cost. Iranians who had hoped they would enjoy more freedom and prosperity following the fall of the Shah have been bitterly disappointed. Iranians who thought they would benefit from the tens of billions of dollars flowing to Iran since the nuclear deal, even more so. Starting last Thursday, Iranians by the hundreds of thousands began expressing that disappointment along with a rising anger, risking their lives by staging protests in more than 24 cities across the country. As I write this, an estimated 21 protesters have been killed by government forces. Hundreds have been arrested. Much of the Western media has downplayed this upheaval. Others have asserted that the protests are just about a sluggish economy and an increase in the price of eggs. In other words, apolitical and non-ideological. The chants being heard in the streets tell a different tale. Among them, "We don't want an Islamic Republic," "Death to the dictator," "Mullahs must get lost," "The clerics act like gods," "Death or freedom," "Leave Syria, think about us," "Not Gaza, not Lebanon, my life for Iran." Also this statement of grim determination: "We will die, but we will take back Iran." No, it's not just the economy, stupid. Is another revolution brewing? When it comes to making predictions about such things, political scientists and intelligence analysts are on par with astrologers. In truth, revolutions are like volcanoes. No matter how much rumbling you hear, no matter how much smoke you see, you never know when they will blow. A common misconception: the more oppressive a regime, the more it invites its downfall. Actually, revolutions are most apt to succeed against regimes reluctant to engage in wholesale slaughter of their subjects. As a general rule, ruthlessness pays. And Iran's theocrats, despite what we hear from their many Western apologists, are as ruthless as they come. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps and the Basij militia have never been reluctant to bash heads. Iran has the world's highest per capita execution rate. Those in power routinely torture dissidents, imprison human rights activists, rape women in prison, publicly hate homosexuals, take Western hostages. The list goes on. The last time Iranians took to the streets to challenge their rulers was in 2009. They famously chanted a question to President Obama: "Are you with us or are you with them?" They utilized a Farsi pun: "Obama, Obama, ya ba'una, ya ba'ma." Eager for détente with the Islamic Republic, Mr. Obama declined to reply. It would be charitable to think of that decision as an experiment. The prevailing view among the foreign policy elite had long been that Iran was an essentially normal nation, whose leaders favored stability in the region, that they were proud men who felt disrespected. If Mr. Obama were to extend his hand in friendship, surely they would unclench their fists. We know now the results of that experiment. The foreign policy elite was wrong, and those few analysts who saw Iran's theocrats as unappeasable enemy were right. Over the weekend, the State Department condemned Iran's rulers for having turned a wealthy country with a rich history and culture into an economically depleted rogue state whose chief exports are violence, bloodshed, and chaos. Mr. Trump tweeted that the entire world understands that the good people of Iran want change. Senator Tom Cotton and Senator Ted Cruz were among the Republican lawmakers who issued strong statements. On the left, support for the rights and aspirations of the Iranians was less robust. Why? Those who identify as the resistance won't agree on anything with Mr. Trump. More moderate Democrats and progressives may not want to be seen as implicitly criticizing Mr. Obama's inactions in 2009 and his 2015 JCPOA. Nor are they eager to join with Republicans on what should be the next step: measures to support the demonstrators and exert serious new pressure on Iran's rulers in order to restrain their repressive instincts. As for Mr. Obama himself, he has not, as I write this, responded to an online letter asking him to send a strong and public message of compassion and solidarity to Iranians demanding their human rights. If he were to do that, and if, before too long, modern jihadism were to collapse in the land where it first became the ruling ideology, a new experiment would begin, one enormously consequential for issues of war and peace over the decades ahead. This video is a production of the School of the White Crane. My name is John Brooker, and you can reach me through commentary on this video or through my Gmail listed here. Please share this video with family and friends and on social media. May God richly bless you.